Jacob Zuma's trial has been adjourned to the 10th and 13th August 2021 for adjudication on the special plea. This means that the former president's application for a postponement today was successful. Judge Pete Koen says the directive on a virtual sitting is in effect unless it will be revoked. eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge is following proceedings in the Pietermaritzburg High Court earlier today. Siphamandla, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View. Just a summary first of what happened in court and the key ruling by Judge Koen.
One of those key rulings is that the application by former President Jacob Zuma to have this matter postponed for 3 weeks, that application has been successful. However, one of the highly contentious issues, or should I say those points that were argued here in court, the issue of virtual versus physical hearing, that one is on hold for now. When the judge adjourned the matter to the 10th and 13th of August 2021, he said for now it will continue virtually. However, he has directed that all parties must write in point form and submit their reasons as to how and why they say this will prejudice them if they feel that way. So it could be that that directive or the decision to have the proceedings virtually could change depending on the representations, the reasons and the submissions by all parties concerned in this matter. But for now, simply put, the application by the former president to have the matter postponed has been successful. However, the virtual hearing aspect of it still stands for now, pending, of course, the submission of those arguments that all parties need to bring forward to the judge. Joe Komane will show you what is happening outside court now. There is nothing much happening except that the police are de-rigging and preparing to leave now. This main road outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court has been cleared. It's being opened up now. Earlier on, we saw a number of Metro Police, SAPS, and to a certain extent, some few members of the SANDF who came here just driving past by. They were not stationed here today as compared to yesterday. We also witnessed, or we saw about 5 supporters of former President Jacob Zuma, led by Fees Must Fall activist Bongenkosi Kanyile, who came here to protest and in support of the former president, calling for his release. But police were very quick and swift in dealing with that situation, asking them to vacate these premises or the vicinity of the court because they were not allowed to gather. So that's what has played out here today at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Judge Pete Koen handing down that judgment. Simply put, we'll be back here on the 10th of August.
And he mentioned that he wanted all parties to respect some of the timelines that he's put. I mean, that certain things must happen like by the 2nd of August and so on and so forth. I think the message there was clear to all parties that there's a need to respect or adhere to this timetable that he's ruled on today as much as possible.
Absolutely, because it does not want further delays here. It doesn't want to come back here on the 10th of August and find out there are some outstanding matters that need to be ironed out. I'm trying to check here, and one of those things in terms of the timelines here is that the relief which is sought in terms of the notice, so by the 17th of July, and also there was that directive that he gave that by the 15th of July, things should have been entered into in terms of this special plea. But he was very clear in giving a direction and time frames and deadlines, saying certain things need to have happened by when, so that when they come here on the 10th of August, they are not further delayed, because he has set down this matter from the 10th of August to the 13th. He has allocated it 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. So when we come back here on the 10th, he wants to proceed with the matter. And again, before proceeding, I guess on the 10th, the first order of business for the court will be to determine whether they will still continue virtually or proceedings will be held physically. All of that is dependent on what these other parties submit to him.
Yes, and let's just be clear that when they come back on the 10th of August, it's only on this matter, on this application, this plea application. It's nothing to do with the trial itself proper. It seems to me like the judge was playing it safe and wanted to be seen to be fair to all parties in this matter.
Absolutely, and the virtual proceedings, by the way, are only limited to this application that is before the court for now. In terms of the trial itself, there is no clear direction as to how will the trial proceed, but these virtual proceedings are only for the matter that is before the court now, that was being dealt with today, as we see some police trying to make their way inside the High Court here. The High Court is highly guarded, closely guided by the police these days, as you would know that there were reports of threats for the courts themselves and judges. So it's not surprising that you will see police officers driving up and down this Pietermaritzburg High Court here. So when we come back on the 10th, we'll be dealing with this plea application that is before the court, and the virtual proceedings are meant for that application only. But then again, the judge will need to decide as to what happens depending on the submissions that he would have received at the time. So the first order of business will be to determine whether to still continue virtually or physically. Would all parties have persuaded him otherwise? We will only find out on the 10th.
Yeah, and those parties, just to inform our viewers in case they missed it, they will include a submission from the Department of Correctional Services. Thank you very much. Siphamandla Goge, they're outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court in KwaZulu-Natal.